Joining us. Happy New Year again. And Sandra, if you want to share, you can, or I put the slides in this slideshow as well.
Thank you. I'm going to try sharing my screen. Well, good evening, everyone. My name is Sandra Emery, and I am going to share some exciting news about the Financial Empowerment Center. I'm going to show my presentation as well. So let me see if this will cooperate very quickly. Are you able to see it?
No.
Okay, let me try one more time. While I am waiting for this, I did want to share that the Financial Empowerment Center is currently at Acres Home at Magnolia Park. And we're expanding this year. We're expanding to the Sunnyside community. Let me try this one more time.
We can see it now.
Okay, great. Thank you. So I am the local program manager for the Houston Financial Empowerment Center. And because of time, I'm going to run through these slides very quickly. However, I am more than sure that Lindsay can pass this presentation on to everyone. The Financial Empowerment Center is actually an initiative of the Mayor's Office of Complete Communities. And this basically a word from Mayor Turner as far as the importance of neighborhoods, equality, accessibility to services and amenities across a broad section. So tapping into the strengths of the community members, nonprofits, businesses, philanthropic partners. The Financial Empowerment Center is funded through the Cities for Financial Empowerment Fund through the Bloomberg Philanthropies. Houston received a CFE fund planning grant in 2017 and added to the second wave and expansion. Houston launched the Houston Financial Empowerment Center January of 2020. So this was just last year that we launched. As you can see, we have our sister city as well, San Antonio. And then in January of 2020, Shreveport also launched their first Financial Empowerment Center. Here is just a visual picture of our website. We provide free professional financial counseling to all Houston residents in Harris County, ages 18 years and older. The website provides everything that you will need as far as what we offer, an introduction to our financial empowerment team, and you're able to schedule an appointment directly online through our website. I provided some brief statistics on the financial need in Houston, but I'm not going to go over everything. These are statistics pre-COVID. As you can see, Houston has the second highest number of newly poor neighborhoods in the nation. Housing insecurity has reached 35.7% in Texas, and about 40% of Houston residents can't pay their rent or mortgage. The unemployment rate is at 8.4% and Harris County at 8.1%. And this is pre-COVID. And I provided the sources at the end of the presentation. I'm more than sure that you're familiar with the Sunnyside Complete Community's data book, and then as a result of the data book and community engagement, the action plan. So I'm going to go over just a few statistics that are provided through the data book. Here are the housing costs in Sunnyside in 2017. 40% of all households in the Sunnyside study area spent more than 30% of their income on housing. 59% of renters spend more than 30% of their income on rent. Here is the income of composition in Sunnyside based on the Sunnyside data book. So the median household income was $27,628. In contrast to Houston, 25% of families lived on incomes below the poverty line. And Sunnyside, that was 36% of families. You can see the stats just last year. This is information from State of Housing data. The unemployment rate jumped to 19.78%. Now this year, we are seeing more and more clients that are not even underemployed, they're just unemployed completely. So this information at the end of this year is going to go up even higher because of COVID. Now, we all experienced COVID in March of 2020, and because of COVID-19 and the impact that it had, it exacerbated the health disparities and inequalities across the different Houston neighborhoods. So here, 67% of Sunnyside respondents or households have at least one adult who is an essential worker. That's 67%. And in comparison to 52% of Houston households who have at least one adult who is an essential worker. Now, we understand that financial well-being for any community is something that is crucial and is extremely necessary right now because of the global pandemic. So what we do at the Financial Empowerment Center is assist by providing real-time assistance with the help of a professional financial counselor who offers counseling, coaching, and light case management. And I'll go over what that specifically means. We also understand the importance of financial well-being overall. It means having financial security and financial freedom of choice. It means having the means to absorb a financial shock. It is also important for creating personal financial goals and planning. And finally, it's an important part of mental health and well-being, as financial issues often take a heavy mental toll. So ways the Financial Empowerment Center can help is by assisting clients with prioritizing finances based on importance, creating a crisis budget. We actually contact creditors, banks, and landlords. So we always have the client on the phone with us because we're working virtually, but we contact the creditors, landlords. We provide cease and desist letters. We assist with consolidating credit, negotiating payment plans with creditors as well. And we also work in partnership with Bank On and provide those individuals that are unbanked or underbanked with banking products. What we always tell the community is that you're not alone, and that we're able to assist with navigating the overwhelming financial burden of contacting the creditors, assisting with disaster assistance applications or forms, and also identifying the circle of influence and measure of control. Who, what groups, organizations can provide assistance. We stay on the pulse of what's happening locally and federally and provide that information to our financial counselors. And we provide light case management, which means if we're not able to help you, we're able to provide additional information and referral to community services and programs. When a client contacts us, we customize their service plan according to their financial needs. But these are the four basic service plans. We provide banking, credit, debt, and savings service plans. Each one has a distinct criteria, and the client is able to customize how they pursue their short and long-term goals. So for instance, here is just an example of what we actually assess. This is credit and debt reduction. We inform the client, first of all, we provide free credit reports, and we looked over their credit report to build their credit score. We identify what the score range is and inform the client if they're very poor, fair, and good, and then determine how we're able to assist them by consolidating debt or increasing their credit score by just putting them on a very nominal basic monthly payment plan with the creditor. So this shows you the Texas average score is 656, which is fair. Houston is at 642, which is fair, and then Fort Bend, 602. This gives you a specific example of someone wanting to obtain a car at $20,000 with a down payment of $1,000 for a term of 72, and how that credit score affects their average monthly payment. Of course, the higher the credit score, the lower the interest rate. And these are just some examples of customizable client packages. I think I've went over all of this. Once again, we understand that that clients are not just numbers. We assist by reducing financial stress, and so that can improve their emotional health, develop financial management skills. Now, these are the three locations, actually two. We started off at Acres Home and Magnolia Park, Manchester, and then Sunnyside coming this year. So we're very, very excited into going into the Sunnyside multi-service center. We have obtained support from the Rockefeller Foundation to expand our reach to the Sunnyside, and we're in the process, if you know of anyone, of hiring 2 full-time financial counselors. We are looking for one financial counselor, or actually both financial counselors, to be bilingual. Here's information on the award. Now, here is the how to schedule an appointment. You can do it in several ways. You can go to our website and actually schedule an appointment on the right side where it says link, make an appointment. In the body of that message, you'll see the financial counselors' names, and you can click on that, and automatically you can schedule directly with a financial counselor. Right now, we have Sure.
I don't understand why the 2 positions have to be bilingual when Sunnyside is predominantly African American.
Mm-hmm. We understand that even though Sunnyside is African American, these individual counselors will be seeing not only Sunnyside, but also other clients in Houston and Harris County.
I understand. So why could not one, if you're here to service us in Sunnyside, and you said to me that you don't even want to hire us, that just makes no sense to me. Why could not one of them be required to be bilingual and the other not? I
agree.
No, but because we're trying to expand the reach.
So who is we? Who do we need to discuss this with?
I'm actually the person. So what I'm trying to do, maybe I need to clarify. So right now we're at 4 financial counselors. These 4 financial counselors are seeing individuals in Sunnyside already. However, we're adding to our capacity to include 2 more counselors. That's a total of 6 counselors that can see anyone in Harris County and in Houston, and specifically in those target areas. So we're not just hiring, we're hiring to see to see everyone. However, we're expanding our capacity. So the 3 counselors that are showing here, Lydia Sims, Naomi Flores, and Marcos, they're all seeing Sunnyside residents as well, but they're also seeing other residents outside those service areas.
Can I get the breakdown of the 6 that you say you already have?
We have 4 right now.
Or the 4 you have. Can you give me the breakdown of those 4 ethnic?
The breakdown of ethnic people? Sure. So we have, of those 4, there's 2 African American and 2 Hispanic or Latin. And that's what we have right now is 4. And with this additional grant, we're going to expand it to 6.
I have a question. Are all 4 bilingual?
No, as you can see, Naomi Flores is the only one that is Spanish speaker. The others are just monolingual. We just added an additional one, and he just started actually a few weeks ago seeing clients, and he is bilingual. But they're all seeing clients right now. So we have
Is a requirement for the positions in Sunnyside for the counselors to be bilingual, or is it just it would help? Is that a job requirement?
It's basically to build capacity. We are hoping to find individuals that speak more than one language, yes, to see more clientele. But they're not specifically targeted or hired just to see Sunnyside. So all of these counselors, like you'll see in this page, they can see all of Sunnyside, Acres Home, Magnolia Park. It's just expanding the capacity to diversify who we're able to see.
I think that, and forgive me, but I think that what the residents are trying to say is that if we are talking about financial empowerment in their neighborhood, that those job opportunities should be extended. At least they should have an opportunity to apply and be considered. And requiring both to be bilingual cuts most of the neighborhood out of that pool.
No, I completely understand.
Hi, everyone. This is, hi. Thank
Hi,
you,
Shannon.
Sandra. Hi, everyone. I have just was able to pop in. I'm sorry I had to have a meeting with our legal department about actual Sunnyside solar farm. So things are progressing there, and I'm glad that I was able to join at this bus conversation. The preference for bilingual counselors is a preference. There is not a requirement. And Sandra, we have both heard loud and clearly that we want to make sure that the opportunity to be a financial counselor in Sunnyside and be available to the Sunnyside community as well as the city of Houston at large should be open to the Sunnyside residents, whether they have the ability to speak in 2 languages or not. So we will take all of that into consideration as we look at the job applicant pool. Okay.
Thank you, Shannon. Once again, this is a free public service. All counselors are trained they go through a rigorous training program. This is not a financial literacy, but financial counseling and coaching. And this is real life application to assist the community. I have provided my information, including the program manager at the Alliance, who supervises the staff, and then the website address at the bottom. And then at the end, I provided the sources that were used as far as the data sources. Does anyone else have any other questions?
I do. This is Dr. Prieta Vanderbilt Stalwart. Thank you, Ms. Emery, for your presentation. I certainly appreciate it. I do have to express that extended concern about the preference for anyone who wishes to take this job to have bilingual status. I think that only one of those positions should be bilingual status. If it is indeed a preference, then that persons or whomever will be hired, that bilingual status will be considered first and foremost. And we see this all the time. So if you're only hiring, am I correct, 2 people? Is this how this is going? Or how does this team, if you're going to hire 2 people, then 1 person is certainly enough to have bilingual preference. Now, we not only have Spanish speaking people in our community, so we tend to not address the other constituents in our region. So if there should happen to be a constituent or more than one constituent or several families that speak a different language, how are we going to address that if the only language that is preferable is Spanish? We have to remember that one person can be multilingual and the other person does not necessarily have to be. So I think that this preference needs to be restricted to one person preference and not both persons, because that will indeed limit the opportunity for those who do not speak the Spanish language to actually apply and be considered. So if we're only going to hire two, then one Spanish speaking preference as a second language or even as a primary language is good. Having both as a preference can be problematic. So I would ask that we consider one only. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank
So,
you.
and I'm sorry, I didn't do an introduction when I first spoke. I'm Shannon Buggs, the director of the Complete Communities office. And as we're looking at the overall impact for the financial counseling centers and our capabilities regarding language for the entire city, we recognize that we do not have anyone who speaks Vietnamese. So if we're talking about a preference at this point with two Spanish speakers, two monolingual English speakers, then we also know that Vietnamese is also our third most spoken language in the city of Houston. And so you're absolutely right that as we look at how we staff this with our preferences, it is not necessarily that we would be going to another Spanish speaker. Arabic is also it's the fourth most spoken language. So there's a lot of different ways for us to look at adding to our language capacity. But it also is, as I said, a preference, not a requirement. And we will be looking at what is the best fit overall for the Sunnyside community, in that we are placing these financial empowerment centers in the complete communities to overemphasize our ability to service the residents in the complete communities. Although it is a citywide service and everyone who lives in Houston has the ability to use this service regardless of income and can use it to as much as they would like. There's no limits on how many times you can call in to receive the counseling services. We do recognize that we want this to be located in the complete communities to make it as convenient and as easy as possible for the residents of the complete communities. And we also want it to be a service that the residents in those complete communities feel that they are able to access in a comfortable way. So we will be looking at candidates to fill those roles with our nonprofit implementing partner, the Alliance, who is actually doing the interviewing for this, and to make sure that what we have is the right mix of people in place to be as beneficial to the communities where these these financial empowerment centers are located. And again, that will be in Sunnyside coming this year, but right now is in Acres Home in Magnolia Park, Manchester.
Thank you, Shannon. There's two hands raised. And we're going to go through these quickly, guys, because we have a full agenda tonight. But thank you all for joining. Delicia? No. Or Delecia? Forgive me if I'm mispronouncing your name. Okay. I will go to the next one. Shani Wiley.
Good evening. Yes, my name is Shani Wiley. I'm the principal at Addicts Middle School located in Sunnyside. I did have a question regarding, is there any, I'm just walking in the house, so I apologize. Is there any opportunities for any kind of educational services to be provided at the school to parents? We definitely have access to a lot of parents that need a lot of support, and we're always looking for ways to engage with the community, and this might be an opportunity to do so. So is there anything in the works regarding maybe offering some free seminars or things like that at the school?
We can definitely look into that, and I can connect you. I'll make sure to send contact information out for Sandra in her office. And Sandra, if you could drop that in the chat, your email address and the website link, but we can definitely look into structuring that and moving that forward, even if it maybe is at the multi-service center or virtual, but we can definitely look into those services.
And we also, as Sandra will share, we have referring partners that are not only willing to work through the financial empowerment centers, but actually come out and do some presentations that are specifically for adult financial literacy. So there's multiple ways of accessing the services. We have banks that are willing to come and not sell products to people, but really provide the ongoing adult literacy work that we need for people to be more financially empowered.
And I just need to add to that, that eventually when the city opens up, we can provide co-location of these financial counselors to different sites as well.
Right. And Dr. Stallworth, had your hand was raised?
Yes, it is. I definitely want to speak to what the principal at Addix is asking. Houston Community College is in the community to seek out the particular population demographic that needs adult basic education, English as a second language, and skills and trade certifications. And we've already started that process. So what I would like to do for the Addix principal is if she can take my information down, or if she can, let me give you my cell number. If the principal is listening, can you take my cell number down?
So
I will connect you with the appropriate persons that will come and speak with you about what the college has to offer, both remotely and at the campus, because
So
we are doing the Career for You. We are doing the Career for You courses, and they are being offered in the apartment complexes. The currently 3 complexes, including Wesley Square, which I think is close to you. And we are also offering them remotely for those who have computer access. So, and forgive me because your name walked right past me, and I definitely want to know your name. But if you will text me your direct information, my cell number is 713.
This is a recorded meeting on a public line. I just want to let you know.
70.
Did you hear me, Dr. Stallworth?
No, what were you saying?
This meeting's being recorded and it'll be public, so I just wanted to let you know that before you put your cell phone number out there.
I'm a public official.
Okay.
It's not like it matters. 1,500 people have my cell number. Unfortunately, 1,500 people have my cell number. But what is most important
This is Principal Wiley from Addix. Can you repeat the number? I was trying to write it down.
Okay, 713-298-5670. Send me your direct contact information, please. Send me your email address. I'll
text it to you.
Yes, I'll connect you because now January 19th is our first semester. Our second starts in February. Then we have a third start in March. And I don't want your parents to miss the opportunity to do the $20 Career for You training, $20 for certification, or $20 for GED, or $20 for skills and trades. So we definitely want to walk that into your building to you and make sure that you have a direct connect to Houston Community College South Campus. This is very important, and we've been working with Bridging the Digital Divide, and please write that down. Bridging the Digital Divide is also working with us to bring our classes to our population demographic remotely. And so we want to make sure that you meet Johnny Moloch as well and become part of that team.
Thank you, Dr. Stallworth.
Most welcome.
And if anybody, Johnny, if you need if you have my email, so if I need to connect you all via email, if you missed any of that information, I can do that as well. So we are going to.
This is going to be the presentation. Can we get a copy of the presentation?
Yes, I can send. I will send a copy of the presentation to everyone who got the meeting invite. So I'm going to go quickly because we're a little over on our schedule as of right now. The Cactus Jack Foundation teamed up with the City of Houston, Walmart, Mattel, all of the local elementary schools, several local restaurants, and they provided Christmas trees, Christmas decoration, a hot meal, food, clothing, toys, Christmas decor, groceries, like literally a bunch of amazing things were provided during this holiday drive-through giveaway. So I just wanted to let you all know the great work that the city, the schools, wraparound services, Walmart, Cactus Jack, and Mattel are doing or have been doing in the community. Is Jeremy, I'm sorry, Mr. Peaches, are you here?
Yes, ma'am, I'm here.
Hi.
How's everybody doing today?
We're good. Do you mind speaking briefly about the fruit tree planting and the effort that Fresh Life Organic is taking with the multi-service center?
Yes, ma'am. Fresh Life Organic is a farm that my family and I started some years back, and we adopted the Sunnyside Multi-Service Center garden because I grew up in Sunnyside in the Herm Clark Garden, and this past December, right before the break, we had an opportunity to plant 12 fruit trees that was donated by Trees for Houston, and the garden is open every Thursday. From 9 to 12, if you want to learn how to garden, if you need help, any tips, and we donate fresh fruit from the garden on Reed Road, on Cullen and Wilmington at the Multi-Service Center. And we just appreciate, you, Lindsay, Trees for Houston, Councilwoman Shabazz, and also all the other farmers that came out and assisted. And we just want to continue to, grow healthy food and beautify the community on that main strip on Cullen.
Jeremy, thank you for all the work you're doing in the community. It really is a beautiful garden. If anybody has time on Thursdays, my apologies, I put 10, but it's 9 to 12 if you'd like to go out there and begin to work on your green thumb. It's really a great experience and a great place. That Fresh Life Organics is sponsored for us, so we really appreciate that.
Yes, ma'am.
We need to bring
Yeah.
we need to bring our supplies if we want to learn to garden.
You could bring the supplies you have. We have some supplies there. If you need plants, seeds, like I said, we donate produce, as well as it'll be the new pickup spot for the Black Farmer Box, another program that we're doing in Sunnyside with Miss Ivy Walls, just to provide, fresh food and, assist you even with your garden and give you tips at home. So, bring your things, bring you some water, bring your mask. If you want to hang out, relax, learn some tips, get some fresh vegetables, we will most greatly appreciate it, especially us young farmers and entrepreneurs in the community. We really like to connect with the senior citizens and, anybody who want to learn how to grow.
Thank you, Jeremy.
Yes, ma'am. Have a great day, everybody.
You too. Next up, Krista from the Mayor's Office of Complete Communities is going to talk to us about the AIA design generating workshop coming up.
Thank you, Lindsay. Again, good evening, everyone. My name is Krista Stoneham. I'm the division manager in the Mayor's Office of Complete Communities. Thank you all for having me here. I'm really excited to announce this upcoming opportunity for the Complete Communities, which is called Designing for Impact, Building Hubs and Corridors in the Complete Communities. Been working closely with Lindsay on this, so definitely want to give a shout out to Lindsay for your leadership as well. And this is a series of workshops that's in partnership with the American Institute of Architects, the Houston chapter, also known as AIA Houston, and also the National Organization of Minority Architects, the Houston chapter, also known as NOMA, to basically visualize some of the aspirations the community wanted to see. We thought this would be really important in order to have a visual aspect that could align with the action plan and in short, we're going to have 3 different meetings in order to achieve that. Meeting 1 will take place on February 2nd, and that's going to be more of a panel to discuss community-based design, to talk about the importance of impact and asset mapping with communities, not designing for communities, but with communities, bringing together the different architects and community leaders to discuss the initiative and its ongoing efforts, and to explain just overall the Sunnyside community. Meeting 2 will be on Saturday, February 20th, and that is going to be the community engagement workshop where we will hear directly from you all about what are some of the assets in the community, and not just some of the physical assets that are there now or that are coming, such as the solar farm, but some of the institutional knowledge or the cultural assets that you would know because you've been there. I'm assuming, for your entire life, or you would know as the local resident and as the stakeholder, the community the best. And this is the opportunity for you to present what should be preserved, what should be changed, etc. And the third presentation would be on March 6th, and that's where the architects will basically take everything that they've heard, that they've learned, that they've read, that they've researched, and present to the community their preliminary design recommendations. Next slide, please. Basically, this is going to be focused on reimagining Belford Street. We wanted to focus on this area because of some of the existing assets that are within the vicinity, such as the upcoming solar farm. Wisdom is down the street. I've heard of assets that are underway, such as potential veteran housing. I know that there's all this great work that's going on in the community and all these different assets that ultimately should be aligned, and that's what the architects are going to help facilitate with the community members. Now, I will just be transparent in saying that in terms of the results of the design workshop and just having the funds to implement and execute are not committed at this time, but I do not want to discourage you from coming and dreaming and giving your input, because having that visual aspect of what the aspirations are for your community will potentially spur the implementation of that. Perfect case study is when I used to be the Complete Communities planner for Acres Home. I did this similar exercise for the Acres Home community a couple years ago in 2018. And in the upcoming weeks, we're actually going to bring to City Council one of the aspirations that the community said they wanted to see in the charrette. So in short, community development doesn't happen overnight, but it's steps like this that can get us to where you would like to see. For the sake of time, I'll stop here unless there's a couple questions, but Lindsay will be sending out the specifics of the meeting information within the next coming weeks, but just wanted to be sure that you were aware of what's coming.
Thank you, Krista.
Thank you.
If there's no questions, we're going to keep going. So Sasha is going to talk to us about the upcoming grant from LISC.
Good evening, everyone. Happy New Year. I'm here to talk about a grant opportunity that LISC has. We know that all of Complete Communities are also Go Neighborhoods. And so this is a Go Neighborhoods grant opportunity that they have. And I wanted to share some information with you about that. LISC currently has their 2021 small grant cycle, and they are working with stakeholders to address issues like housing, health, environment, education, economic development, family, financial stability, and resident leadership and civic engagement. And so what they have this opportunity is a grant award for at least $500 to $5,000 to groups and organizations to submit proposals to affect changes in these areas. And a lot of these things, this can be completed, and our action plan projects can be completed through this way. I briefly looked at Sunnyside's action plan, and some things you said that you wanted were improvements to your park, like Sunnyside Park and E.P Hill Park, expanding programs for families and seniors at Johnson Library. You know, this is what can fund those projects. And so it is a 2-to-1 match, meaning you put in 2 and they put in 1. But the match can be in kind, of course. So we have so many people in complete communities in Sunnyside that can help with this match and provide some community support. We really want to see you register for one of the workshops that LISC is having to explain their grant process. They're having 2 different workshops, as you can see on the screen, one on January 13th and another one on January 20th. I also put it in the chat for you. There are QR codes. When you go to that QR code, it will take you directly to where you can register for the workshop. And we know a lot of times, people need help with their grant application. So what we want to do is help you with that. So we are going to have some workshops that come after the LISC workshops. And so we're going to prepare a good flyer for you for that information. But our grant workshop is going to be scheduled on January 26th at 6:30, and we can add you to that meeting right now ahead of the flyer, and make sure that we lightly touch on what's needed for the grant application and help you draft your application if you need it, or if you just need someone to review it before you push that button and submit it, we're here for you too. So we just wanted to let you know, a lot of times when there are grant opportunities, we see the opportunity, but it's also a process in getting that application to the funder. And so we want to make sure those applications get sent. We want as many grant awards from LISC to help fund complete community projects as possible. And as a matter of fact, we have a goal for, let's try and get 1 grant from LISC for each complete community. And we definitely want Sunnyside to be a part of that. We know you are a very fervent and very active community, so we have no doubt that you will participate in the grant opportunity. Let us know if you want to be included in our workshop so we can help you push that button. And if you have any questions, I can put my name and contact information in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you, Sasha. Any questions for Sasha in terms of the LISC grant? If not, we're going to move to Air Alliance Houston. And Juan?
How you doing?
Hi, how are you?
Good, good. I got a presentation. Let me just put it on real quick.
Okay.
Can you guys see it?
Yes.
Okay. All right. My name is Juan Flores. I am the Air Monitoring Program Manager, and Air Alliance Houston. We are a research-based nonprofit organization that advocates for the policies to reduce air pollution, because we believe that where you live, work, and learn and play should not determine your health. So we're trying to clean the air, trying to make it better for now and for the future generations. Today I'm here to talk to you about our air monitoring network program. And I'm gonna talk to you a little bit about that and share a little bit of information on why this is something that's needed in our neighborhoods here in Houston. We did a study in conjunction with the Rice Kinder Institute on environmental hazards and health risk in Houston complete communities. And Sunnyside is a complete community. You guys were in the study also. Some of the key findings that we found, there are at least 300 hazardous facilities operating within 1 mile of the 5 complete communities. Inside or near the complete communities, there are 1,320 places such as schools, parks, and churches that are within 1 mile of hazardous facilities. So every complete community has at least 2 concrete batch plants within its borders. Some neighborhoods like Northside has up to 8. Every complete community has at least 2 metal recyclers within its boundaries, and some neighborhoods in Northside have up to 17. Over in Acres Homes, as an example, there are more than 90 oil wells within 1 mile of Acres Homes. The residents of block groups with hazardous sites tend to be more lower income. Non-white residents, renters tend to live in block groups where hazardous sites are greater rates than homeowners. Issues with air emissions, other hazards, and major health risks on top of other challenges, poverty, lack of mobility, unsafe homes, already face complete community residents. So what I'm here to talk to you today about is we have a new program that we're starting, and we'll love to invite Sunnyside if you guys are interested in applying for it. The Air Monitoring Network program will be working with communities such as yourself to help design and implement air monitoring networks throughout your neighborhood. The program will work with you, the residents, and together as a group, we will identify areas in your neighborhood that might be high risk pollution. There might be a metal recycler that you know that pollutes a lot, or there might be areas of pollution that you smell stuff. So we're going to identify those areas. And once we identify them, we're going to decide where we can put some air monitors. And there are different air monitors, and I'll share that here momentarily. But once we put the air monitors up, and we decide where we want to put them, then we're going to teach you and educate you on how this data that's coming out of these air monitors, how you can use that data to fight the issues you have there, and also learn how that data can help you, give you ammunition to make change in your community. So part of this program is we want to establish an air monitoring ambassadors advisory board. There's other neighborhoods that will be working with us. For example, Pasadena is already up and functioning, and Galena Park Jason is another neighborhood. So we're hoping Sunnyside or a couple of other neighborhoods will join us, but we're going to work together as neighborhoods so that way we can have a bigger footprint on, how much pollution is going on in an area and how we can fight that. So we're going to build the advisory board. We're going to facilitate a mapping session. We're going to go to your meeting, like this meeting here today, and sit down with y'all and show a map where you guys can show us this area is bad, this area has pollution, there's a school here we're worried about. So we're going to map it together as a group. And then once we get the mapping together, we'll analyze the data, come back to y'all and say, these are some good areas to put up an air monitor. And as a group, we'll decide if that's what we want to do. Once we got the locations together, there's different air monitors to choose from, and we will share those with y'all so that way y'all can decide which one you guys would think will be the best for your area. And then once we get the air monitors up, we'll train y'all so that way y'all know what the data is, and then we'll keep going. Anybody have any questions so far? Are you guys there? Okay, just making sure. All right, so part of this program is we have money available to purchase air monitors. So we have that. We will help you get these air monitors, and I'll show you the different types here momentarily. We're also going to be asking if one representative from this group will come to our advisory meetings and represent this area, and the person who gets picked will get compensated for their time for coming to this additional meeting, so that way you can get the information and bring it back to your group. So we're going to train y'all. We got a gentleman from Nashville, from the University of Tennessee, that's going to come and train us, and that way get everybody ready so you can understand the data, so we can share it with the neighborhood that you live in. All right, here's an example of the Pasadena network that's currently almost all the way up. At the bottom, you see that little air monitor with the solar panel. That's an APIS air monitor. That was a very good monitor. Right there on the top, there's a panel that shows you a wind direction. So say we put up a air monitor near a school, it's going to show the location. It's going to show which way the wind is going. Right below that panel, it shows you spikes. If there's a spike in ozone, if there's a spike in particles in the air, these monitors will capture it, and that data will be stored, and we'll be able to use that data to figure out where this pollution is coming from. And if we need to fight a group out there to try to cut the pollution, we'll have some data to do that. And here's a map right there that shows you 3 APIS air monitors, Pasadena. We put one at 2 houses, 2 residents. They'll borrow their house, and we put a monitor on top of their house. We're putting one up at a church. We can put monitors at school. So we have many different options. These are some examples of different monitors that we've used so far. The first one is the APIS. That one is real good because it tracks many different chemicals. And then because the small ones that are purple air monitors, those are real good at capturing particles in the air, smoke, just particles from smokestacks, anything like that that's in the air. Those monitors will capture it. And there's a new one that just came out called the S-Pod. That one also captures a lot of chemicals in the air. So we'll decide as a group which air monitors we want, and then we'll put them up around the neighborhood. So just for this program, we are timeline is we're hoping that the communities that are interested in applying will apply by February 12th. It's a short application. You fill it out that you're interested, and then we'll go through the application and pick the communities that will be working with us. And it has all the different deadlines. We're hoping to have the air monitors up in the neighborhoods in a couple of months, start getting the data and start making progress and trying to improve our community air quality. So application process is fill out the application. If you're selected, we'll call you and contact you saying you're part of the program. Then we'll sit down with your meeting and identify all the different areas, start the mapping section and get everything started. Hopefully by March, we'll get started for those communities that are picked. Does anybody have any questions?
Hello, Juan.
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you. You guys still there?
Hello, Juan.
Yes, ma'am. I can hear you. Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you. I don't.
Hear you, Deborah. Can you hear him, Deborah?
Hello.
Yes, ma'am.
Go ahead, ma'am. We can hear you.
I would think she's having trouble. Ms. Walker, if you're having trouble, you can also try and putting your question in the chat if you can see that.
Hi. Can you hear me, Lindsay, now?
Yes, ma'am. We can hear you.
Oh, okay. But I was hi Juan, how you doing?
Good. How you doing?
This is Deborah Walker with Sunnyside Community Redevelopment Organization.
Yes, ma'am.
And we have been working in Sunnyside already with the air monitors. And so I would like to partner with you if you want to help us go around to place our air monitors.
Okay. Yeah, I mean I'd
that's
like to sit down with you to see what you guys are doing and see how we can work together. That'd be great.
Yeah, I'm working with Dr. Grace Lewis and Dr. Danae King with TSU, the Environmental Defense Fund. So we just recently purchased our monitors. We are awaiting them to come in. So I would like to meet with you, and so you can help us go around Sunnyside and place those, so we could educate the people, about the air pollution in the area.
We are working with Danae and Grace, EDF. They're part of this program also. So we're all going to be working together on that. So we're all part of it. So I am aware of Danae and Grace. And it's great to meet you, Deborah. Like I said, if you guys are interested in participating, I can send you the application, short application. If you guys fill it out, we'd love to have y'all included in this program so we can all work together and really make a difference in your community.
Okay, we'll do. Thank you.
Okay. Does anybody have any other questions?
Yes, I have a question. This is
Yes,
Ephraim Jernigan with South Union Community Development, and I had put in the chat, would it be possible to install those monitors around the perimeter of the future solar farm?
If that's something y'all want to do, like I said, we're going to do a mapping session. If you guys identify that area and the whole group agrees that we would like to put a mirror monitor in that area, we can do that.
Excellent, thank you.
Mm-hmm. So what I'll do is I'll put my information here in the chat. My name is Juan Flores, and if you guys want to participate, just send me an email and I will send you the application. It's a short application. We'll make the decision on the communities here, hopefully by the end of first in February. And that way, hopefully we'll select y'all and then we'll start working with y'all. And we'll come to your next meeting and get everything kicked off.
Juan, I'll also request an application and I'll send it out to all of our members on our neighborhood support team as well.
Okay.
To make sure the entire community gets it, because I'm pretty sure Sunnyside wants to participate. So I'll make sure for anybody who's not able to send an email or get that information, I'll be sending that to our constant contact in our neighborhood support team and working groups as well, so we can apply and take advantage of this awesome opportunity.
Okay. I just put my phone number and my contact information on the email. I look forward to hearing from everybody.
And also,
Mhm.
will we begin to copy that presentation?
I can send it to you. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
All right. And like I said, I look forward to hearing from y'all. And Ms. Williams, I'll send you that information early next week.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining us.
All right. Thank y'all.
We are on time, guys, so I'm really excited. It's Houston Parks Board. So quickly before Houston Parks takes us into their listening session, does anyone have any overall questions or quick community updates they need to voice at this time?
Was that about the park or about something else, or like announcements?
Yeah, this is just in general. Does anyone have any general things before we? So the park listening session, Houston Parks is going to, for the next half of this meeting, they're going to host their listening session. So I just want to make sure we wrap up anything that we've just heard from this prior session, or if there's any general updates that anybody needs to give to the group.
Also,
Lindsay.
Yes.
This is Desmond Calloway.
Hi,
I'm the director. I'm the director of communications for Councilmember Carolyn Evans Shabazz, and so I just wanted to let everyone know that's listening. We are definitely ramping up great things in 2021. And if you do not follow the council member on social media, Facebook and Instagram, definitely follow her at District D Houston TX. Again, that is District D Houston TX. We definitely plan to make sure that our community meetings this year are recorded and they're put online and on YouTube. You can also find her on YouTube at District D Houston TX. So if you have any questions or concerns, definitely make sure that you email our office at District D at HoustonTX.gov. So the email sounds like the social media, but it's not. The email is District D at HoustonTX.gov. And if you have definitely any questions or comments, concerns, you can always email our office, myself, or one of the other team members will definitely get back to you. Okay, that's it.
Thank you, Desmond. They also have a wonderful newsletter that's great and very informative.
Lindsay.
Yes.
I wanted to invite the people on the call, the neighborhood support group, if they go online to our Facebook page. And what we were trying to do, I'm glad that everybody's working on asset mapping and stuff. We are doing some asset mapping in Sunnyside, and we would like for people to go to our website and can put down, some historical places in Sunnyside. It's a lot of people know a lot of things that some people don't know. They know where the bodies are buried in, not literally bodies, but they know a lot of historical information stuff. They can go on our website and www.scrohouston, and it's Sunnyside Community Development Organization.
Okay. Thanks.
I'll put it on the chat.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you.
Mr. Ibo, I think you have your hand raised.
Hi, this is Adidiong Obot. I'm representing Commissioner Rodney Ellis' office in Harris County Precinct 1. And I know that Lisa's already on here from Houston Parks Board. And so some things that we're working together with the Houston Parks Board is the Hill at Sims. And so you guys should be hearing an update, I believe, next month or so on some of the projects that's going on in Sunnyside as it relates to that. And then in addition to that, I know that Juan talked about the air monitors program, and just kind of want to let y'all know that Commissioner Ellis is for those kind of things, especially when it comes to climate justice. And so we are working on a climate justice plan from the county perspective, and it's focused more on equity as well as making sure that the community is involved as well. And so I just wanted to put those things out there, working with the city of Houston as well on some of those things. And so we want to definitely engage the community and get you guys feedback on this, because this is for you all. And I'll put my information in the group chat as well, so that if you have any questions or you want to reach out, then you'll have that as well.
Thank you, Adidio. Sorry about that. Anybody else before?
Yes, this is Ephraim Jernigan. I have a question. There's a park on Cullen called Schumeyer, and it has a jogging trail around it, but there's no lights. So people can't utilize the park after dark. And I was wondering if someone was working on getting lights on that park.
I'm not aware of that, but I can, if you can send that to me in an email, I can ask that request of parks and see if anything is in the works. And if it's not, can we maybe propose for it to be?
Thank you. And also the parking lot is very inadequate, and people are driving, parking on the grass. So a lot needs to happen at that park. It's right there, Cullen and West Orem, or Orem.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
And Darren? Sankey? No?
Yes, I'm sorry. I was on mute. I may have missed it, but as far as the financial center, did they ever announce a date for when it's?
I can answer that. Can you hear me? So
Yeah.
we're already open and seeing individuals. However, as far as the opening in Sunnyside, we're still working on securing that site at Multi-Service Center. And because of COVID, we are doing everything remotely right now.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
So virtually, if you want to take advantage of any FEC services, those are available now for any Houston resident, just FYI. So I think at this point, I'm going to hand it over to Lisa Kay from Houston Parks Board.
Yes. Hello. Hi. Can you confirm, Lindsay, that you can see my screen for the presentation?
I can.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much. Hi, everyone. Lisa Kastanovich. I'm Outreach Manager with the Houston Parks Board. We are a nonprofit organization that works closely with the City Parks Department on park improvement, creation, and advocacy projects all across Houston. And so I'm happy to be here with y'all this evening. Thank you so much to Lindsay, Complete Communities, and the Planning Department for having the Houston Parks Board and the Houston Parks and Recreation Department kind of lead this listening session for the last portion of your evening meeting. So I appreciate your time this evening, and you will have a time for input. There will be a time where we'll look for raised hands or for people to unmute themselves to give input on a question we'll have. We'll also be dropping a survey in the chat feature, and Lindsay will be sharing after. So we do look for community input this evening, so we are excited to hear from you. So we're going to go ahead and jump on into just a quick overview of the agenda. First, I see we have Councilmember Carolyn Evans-Shabazz with us. I see she's on camera, so we'll get to her in a quick second for remarks. We also have Amber Tears with us. She is with Chevron. Chevron is our fantastic park partner for E.P Hill Park. They are our company that is committed to funding, being a funding partner for our fantastic 50/50 Park Partners initiative. So we're excited to have Chevron on with us. She'll speak. Then we'll get into what is 50/50 Park Partners, this initiative that you've maybe heard of and which E.P Hill Park is a part of. We'll get to specifics about E.P Hill Park. We'll look for your input, and then we'll give you kind of next steps and timeline. And then if we have time at the end, we'll do some questions. So as I mentioned, we have Councilmember Carolyn Evans Shabazz with us. She is the council member for your wonderful District D. So I'm going to invite her to say a few words.
Well, thank you and good evening. I am Councilmember Carolyn Evans Shabazz, the proud and humble council member for District D, what I fondly call the District of Destination. I came on at 6 o'clock, and you would not believe I went all the way over to the north side so I could get back for the 7 o'clock meeting, and I'm glad to be here.
Sorry.
And thank you so much for having me here to be a part of the E.P Hill Park Community Listening Session. And I am very excited that E.P Hill Park is part of Mayor Turner's 50/50 Park Partners Initiative and will receive some much needed attention. We definitely must not forget about our neighborhood parks, which are heavily used by the communities surrounding them. And since learning about the 50/50 Park Partners, my office has been working with the Houston Parks Board and Houston Parks and Recreation Department on this initiative. So I am happy to see that we are now at this point of community input. And I sincerely appreciate each of you who has made time to be here this evening and participate in discussing future improvements to this beloved park. You are the experts since you use the park. So please let them know your thoughts this evening. And we look forward to working with the community and the park's 50/50 Park partner, Chevron, to help make this park the best that it can be while serving the needs of the neighborhood. And if you need any support from our office, I believe Desmond put my information in the chat, my email and my handles, as you all put it, for social media. And so we are so happy to assist. And thank you, Lisa, and I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Sure, no problem. Thank you, Councilmember. I don't even think I have handles, so you're more advanced than me.
Maybe that's not the right word. Is that what you call it?
I love it.
Oh, okay, all right.
I think that is the right word. Well, thank you for bringing your energy, enthusiasm, and excitement to this process. So I appreciate you being here with us this evening. And sorry about that bit of a time change there. So thank you.
I ran and did what I needed to do. I was going to wait and do it at 7, but instead I did it at 6, and I'm back.
All right. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. All right. So next I'm going to turn it over to Amber Tiers. As I mentioned, she is with Chevron. She is their corporate affairs manager, and they are the park partner identified for E.P Hill Park. So I'm going to invite her to go ahead and say a few words. Hi, Amber.
Hi, Lisa. Thank you so much for having us this evening. And thank you, Lindsay, for facilitating this conversation. And also want to thank the councilwoman for her kind remarks to kick us off as well. I think we share her enthusiasm and what is, what we're about to embark on. I also, before we get started, want to acknowledge my colleague from Chevron, Irene Flores, who's also on the phone too, and she's been a great champion of this program for Chevron, and so she's joining us too. But we couldn't be more excited to be a founding park partner and to be a part of this 50/50 Park Partners initiative. We certainly share the mayor's vision for improving neighborhood parks and increasing the quality of life for Houstonians. And we look forward to this session of listening to you all and working with you all to achieve this goal going forward. Just a little bit of background on us. We joined this coalition of business partners because we know how important it is to have for our communities to have access to quality green space and parks. And I think especially in this pandemic world that we're living in, it's even that appreciation has become even more acute, as I know my own family and many of you all have utilized our local parks for daily exercise, for that mental health break. And so we all, I think, have received a deeper appreciation for how important that green space is for both our physical and mental health, for our kids, for our families, and for everyone. And so, again, we are really looking forward to working on this initiative to make sure that Houstonians have regular access to great green space. And then I will also say, on behalf of our 7,000 employees and retirees that like to roll up their sleeves and volunteer in the community. Once we kind of get through this pandemic, we're all very excited to be back working alongside you all at E.P Park when it's safe to do so. So again, just want to thank everyone for joining us and for having us be a part of this listening session.
Sure. Thank you so much, Amber and Irene, also for being on this evening. We're really excited that y'all are a founding partner for 50/50 Park Partners. And we do look forward to the day when we can all be at E.P Hill Park and be together with our shirts on our back and doing some good. So until then, this will have to do. So thank you for being here. All right. And then, as I mentioned earlier, Houston Parks Board works really closely with the City of Houston and the Houston Parks and Recreation Department. So I'm going to invite Mike to say a few words, and then he's going to speak again later on the presentation. Mike, are you with us?
I'm here.
Okay, great. Fantastic.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. On behalf of Interim Director Kenneth Allen and the Houston Parks and Recreation Department, I'd like to welcome you this evening to our second community listening meeting that we've had. We've got 11 of them planned, and this is our second one. And we look forward to working with your community to improve E.P Hill Park. This is a very important initiative implemented by Mayor Turner, and we're very excited about taking part in this collaborative process. In a few minutes, I will be sharing with you a brief description of park inspection criteria and our findings. And we look forward to your responses in the survey section regarding our presentation. Again, thank you very much for participating, and we'll be talking to you in a little while. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. And I just want to clarify that he mentioned we're having 11 community listening session. It's 11 across the city, so not 11 for E.P Hill Park. Because they're probably wondering where was the first one and 9 more. So yes, 11 community listening sessions for the first 11 parks of 50/50. So just want to make that clarification. But thanks so much, Mike. We'll hear from you in a little bit. Again, all right. And so at this point in time, we want to let y'all know what 50/50 Park Partners is. As y'all heard, it's Mayor Sylvester Turner initiative, but you're probably wondering, what does it entail? Who's involved? And so I'm going to turn it over to my colleague from the Houston Parks Board, the wonderful Deborah Rule. She is our development director. So she's going to do a few slides here to give you an overview of 50/50 Park Partners.
Thank you, Lisa. Hi, everybody. Thank you again for having us with you tonight. Yes, so what is 50/50 Park Partners Initiative? We've been talking about it already, so let me give you just a brief background. 50/50 Park Partners Initiative was announced in May 2019. It is a mayoral initiative to improve 50 neighborhood parks across Houston. We all know that signature parks like Memorial and Emancipation and Discovery Green have transformed the city, but our work to uplift neighborhood parks is far from complete. Mayor Turner's announcement for this initiative challenges 50 corporate park partners to join a citywide coalition driving improvements to neighborhood parks. The initiative is made possible through a partnership with the City of Houston, including the Office of Complete Communities and Resilience, the Greater Houston Partnership, Houston Parks and Recreation Department, and us, the Houston Parks Board. 50/50 is founded on 3 principles: park equity, parks are selected and improved based on need and citywide distribution; community engagement, improvements, projects, and actions are responsive to the community and focus on existing parks; and long-term sustainable impact. 50/50 provides a multi-year investment, starting a long-term partnership between businesses, parks, and communities. You can go to the next slide. And that's an important part of this. 50/50 creates long-term relationships between our corporate partners, parks, and communities. The parks were identified through a thorough evaluation process of park condition and population and equity metrics. A park condition assessment was conducted for 186 neighborhood parks. And neighborhood parks, if you don't know, those are parks between 1 and 15 acres in size. And the evaluation included things like safety, amenities, park condition, and accessibility. These criteria and the population and equity metrics were averaged equally to produce the 50 neighborhood park list. And we hope this is just the beginning. Our park partners think we went to the next
Sorry,
slide.
sorry about that. I didn't mean to.
No, that's okay. That's okay. I think we're on the next slide now.
We're on the next slide now. Okay. There we go.
That's all right. So our park partners bring not only monetary contributions, but in-kind support, ideas, and volunteers when we can do the volunteer programs. And it's part of our founding principles of sustainable impact. The total fundraising goal for the initiative is between 30 and 35 million from both private and public sources. And we're currently seeking to engage 50 corporate partners, and we have several signed on at this time. And the City of Houston's commitment of 7 to 8 million for improvements strengthens the private investment being made. E.P Hill Park, as you know by now, is one of the 11 parks, and it's in the first round of improvements. Currently in phase 1, improvements, safety improvements are being addressed. These improvements are being led by the Houston Parks and Recreation Department, and Mike, who you just met, Mike Eiserman, will be discussing those shortly. But today, why we're here, the listening session, we're moving with you into phase 2 of the 50/50 park improvements. Community engagement is one of the 3 founding principles, and we look forward to hearing what you would like to see in E.P Hill Park. And I think we're on the map now, Lisa.
Right. There we go.
Oh, kind of hard to see, but we're kicking off with 11 parks. So it's actually 12 if you include Hartman Park, which is noted in green, if you can see it, which was a pilot project to get us started. E.P Hill is one of the first 11, and it's indicated in the red circle. And we'd like to note that 6 of the 12 first parks are in a complete communities neighborhood, which showcases the initiative's founding principles on park equity. So I know that was quick. Please, if you have questions, let us know. But I know we want to get to the important part, which is your input. So I'm going to turn it back over to Lisa.
Great. Thank you so much, Deborah. It's tough to fit all that into a few slides, but thank you so much for being here with us this evening. And I was taking a look at the chat. I see that the link to the press release issued by the mayor's office about the first 22 parks that have been announced out of the 50. There's a link to that press release in the chat if anyone wants to click on it. Again, we're parceling that out. We're doing 11 right now out of the 22. We'll move through hopefully all 50. So lots more meetings to come, but we're really excited that E.P Hill Park is one of the first 11 in this round. So go ahead and check out that link in the chat. Also, my colleagues posted a link to our 50/50 Park Partners webpage. So check that out in the chat. And then next I'll turn it over to Mike Eiserman. He's going to talk about how we took the Sunnyside Complete Community Action Plan into effect. You know, we took that into consideration and how the work that y'all are doing will factor into this. Mike?
Yes, thank you. Appreciate it. I wanted to give everybody an opportunity to understand what it was that we looked at when we did the inspections of the parks, first of all, and then I'll get back to the action steps that you see here on the screen. We took a look at 10 focal points within each park. We took a look at all the flat work, which is basically concrete and asphalt. We look at minor building structures, if there were any on site, like pavilions and that sort of thing. Fencing could be ball field perimeters and those sorts of things. That doesn't really apply at this particular park. Play structures and exercise stations or spray grounds. We have a playground that we take a look at. Sports fields, sports courts, landscaping and trees, picnic seating areas, security and electrical services such as lighting, and then other miscellaneous items that might be existing, such as public art and that sort of thing. From that, we chose 4 items that we felt that were related to safety issues to make improvements. And those areas were flat work, fencing, landscaping, and electrical services. So we really focused on that, and we have estimates being performed, and we've started work with some fencing issues. We've collected light pole inspection information so we can convert the lights that are on these parks into LED lighted parks and ensure that the poles that they're mounted on are in good condition and will last a long time, making any repairs necessary to ensure that. Landscaping included such things as line of sight. Make sure your trees were trimmed up so you don't have this real low branches in areas where you can't see people. That's kind of important. And another safety factor here in Texas is the heat. If you've gone out to the park, you will see that we have planted a number of trees, and they're along the hike and bike, or the biking, or the walking trail perimeter, to eventually provide shade for that entire walking area, which makes it more pleasurable and a little easier for people to walk in the real hot part of the summer. So based on that, Lisa Johnson and myself, she works for the General Services Department and manages all of our capital improvements projects. We took a look at the park and kind of walked it and came up with a list of items we thought that would be necessary to address. And then we compared that list to this one right here that's on the screen.
Mike, real quick, I want to interrupt. So we were going to talk about the complete community action plan and then go into the next slides. So I don't know if you can see our screen, but we're not yet on the list yet.
Okay, well, then this right here, these items, the action steps are.
So hold on a second. You kind of went ahead there. So I want to make sure people can see, because we wanted to first mention that, we understand E.P Hill Park was mentioned in the Complete Communities Action Plan. So we do want to notate that, but y'all have probably been reading that for some time while Mike was speaking on that topic. So we do want to let people know we factored that in there. And then we had a wonderful, beautiful picture that our photographer took of E.P Hill Park, and so I just wanted to show that real quick. You can see downtown. You can see the medical center in the background and NRG Stadium. So we got a wonderful kind of landscape picture of E.P Hill Park. And then the next slide kind of shows what Mike was talking about. He mentioned the flat work, the fencing, the landscape, and the security and electrical service. So he's already gone through that, and then he's talking about the park assessment. It's okay. I wanted people to see. We sent out a photographer to take pictures, so I want them to see the pictures.
Okay, so from that point on, talking about what we saw in the park, obviously we felt that the playground was in need of replacement. We also took a look at the basketball court. That was it's rather small to start with. It's kind of a back-to-back goal setup rather than a end-to-end play, which would require a slightly larger slab, but we're interested in looking at that. That picture that we had at the park that was it was from an elevation shot. It kind of shows the park pretty well, and I don't know if everybody knows this, but the park is a pork chop. It's shaped like a pork chop to some degree, and if you can look down there far across the park to the left side, that entire area where those trees are goes back to the street that's behind there. So that's part of the park as well, if people aren't aware of that. I know that's a very wet area and such. So some of the things that we talked about was there's no real parking in the park or for the park, except for those dead ends that you can see up here in the forefront and the far in the front right left-hand corner, and then caddy corner across the park all the way over to the right upper hand section. That's also a similar situation. Those areas are not really made up too well. We want to really focus on improving those and removing some of that concrete, pouring new concrete for better access. The same thing on this end down here, rearrange some of the ballards and make more of an entrance that makes sense for the park from the community. And then we also want to suggest for your consideration possibly a 30-car parking lot down at that far end, along with some drainage to improve that issue, because there's a lot of water that stands. And we think that would be a nice addition to the park. Also, most of you know that there was a little kind of picnic plaza back there in the back of the park that's directly behind the church. And the church even had a gate exiting their property to that particular site that we noticed, and we thought that needs to be looked at too. We thought about possibly doing some brick pavers and leveling it up and making it real nice. Maybe install some new picnic tables and you know, some other type of maybe cooking facilities that would promote, you know, nice activities after church or on the weekend for anybody to use. So those are the kinds of things that Lisa and I saw as being a real possibility. We also thought that a little exercise pavilion would make sense. And we like to put those in fairly close proximity to the playground, because then the parents that bring their kids out can exercise while they watch them play. It's just a possibility. It's an idea. Let's see, what else do we have here? I think I covered most of it.
You did, yeah. You went through what the Parks Department is doing for safety improvements, the assessment, and your ideas.
So those particular ideas aligned very well with what the community had already determined and provided during the complete community meeting. So we were really pleased to see that we're all thinking on the same page about things. And so what we really want you all to do here a little later is take a look at those ideas and add ideas that you may have that you've come up since then to throw into the mix, so that we can come up with a list of possibilities, and we'll fund what we can get done. So I think that's all I have. I certainly do appreciate the opportunity to speak to everyone, and we're really excited about getting started on this project.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Mike. I appreciate it. So I know he went through a lot. He talked about the current condition of the park, what the Parks Department is doing for their safety improvements, which is fantastic. And then kind of their ideas, which take from, you know, community input from the Sunnyside Complete Community Action Plan. So at this time, we want to, you know, kind of open mic night here and ask people to speak up and let us know what y'all think about these improvement ideas. Now, I know we have a few people joining on the phone who may not see the slides, so I'll just repeat what are the ideas we're thinking about, and then I'll invite you to comment on that. And again, if you don't hear the item that you think needs to be improved at this particular park, can you speak up and let us know? So those improvement ideas, again, just to restate, especially for people on the phone, is for E.P Hill Park is the trail replacement, playground replacement, basketball court upgrades, new shade covered exercise equipment near the playground, and a new parking lot with associated detention. And so those are the ideas. So if people, I know Lindsay and her team are monitoring the chat and also hand raising. It seems like everyone on this meeting is good job with hand raising. So if someone wants to speak up, and then Mike and I can go back and forth and talk about it.
Okay, Lisa, this is Deborah Walker.
Hi, Deborah.
Y'all started working on this park. This is a little pocket park that's in the right there in our subdivision area.
Okay.
And y'all might kind of hit on most of the things that I think and know that we need work done on and stuff. I didn't understand the flat work. What is the flat work?
I'm sorry. That's what you call concrete and asphalt and that sort of thing. It's the areas that you walk on, that sort of thing. That's what flat work means. We took a look at the conditions of the walking trail and the associated sidewalks that were kind of broken up in some of those places, like especially down there across the park where that other dead end area is. You know, coming into the park from there, and that concrete's a little unlevel. We want to take all that out and redo that area and have a much better access from that particular point. Does that help?
That help. And you know where you was talking about where the flat work is when you at the dead end when you're coming in now?
Yes, ma'am.
Did you see it on that side? It's kind of low on that side of the park and everything. And we can get some maybe some dirt to build it up in there and stuff. Because when it's hot and you walk in and the mosquitoes are so bad over there because the water sit in those low-lying areas there around the edge of that park.
Yes,
and
you're right.
Yeah, that would happen. Where were you thinking about putting the parking lot?
Well, you can't really see it very well on this picture. It's on the far side of the park. We actually have a portion of that land pushes all the way through the road back behind there. I can't remember the name of it, but you come off that road to the church. What's that? Is that? Yeah, that is Cloverland. I mean, Gloryland. Okay, all right. Okay, all right. So from Gloryland from that street all the way into the park, that area right there is parkland. So that's where I thought it'd be nice to put the parking lot in, because you have direct access off of a road and easy in and out. And that area is, I think that if I'm not mistaken, the church had already built a new parking area, but they put a fence up between the church and the park itself. So kind of like to consider that idea. It's just a consideration for y'all to talk about and think about.
Right. But I think that other side you were talking about, I think that would be more better. On that other side.
Coming in off that road, and well, we can do some studies to determine where the best place of where that parking lot might go. That's fine with us, sure.
Yeah, you can down there where the where you come in there from the it's another dead end street that run right into the park called Chain Street.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and that Chain Street, it's that's a residential area, and when people come to the park, sometimes they kind of inconsiderate about where they park at. So we had some parking signs put up, right? Because they were blocking people driveways. They could get in when they come home, and so if we could work on.
Can you see the picture? Are you on a computer or your phone? Does it allow you to see the picture? Are you talking about the entrance down there on the lower left-hand corner where that blue car is sitting? Is that where or across the park?
Yeah, that right there.
Okay,
yeah.
Okay, all right, very good.
But other than that, if you can do also water both ends, because sometimes they only have one water fountain, and by the time you drink some water, by the time you go back to the store, you be thirsty all over again.
I understand. It's down there on the far side, right?
Somebody else can start.
Yeah, it's down there on the far side, isn't it?
Right.
Church. I know what you're talking about. So
right.
Yeah, it is kind of a walk, and when you get out there in that heat,
right.
I understand that, and we can certainly. That's an easy one, ma'am. That's an easy one.
Okay, well. Anyone else got something to say? I don't want to be, take up too much time.
Yeah, since you live in the community near the park, your input was valuable. I really appreciate it, Deborah.
Thank you.
No, thank you. Yeah, anyone else want to speak up?
I think Deborah has spoken valid for us that live in the community. She's touched on all the main points that we've discussed.
Thank you, Tony.
Thank you, Deborah.
All right, Deborah's got the vote of one. Anyone else? No. Or anyone else have any other ideas?
Yeah, I have an idea. Are you all going to do any of the bike charging stations like you did in McGregor Park?
The B-side, you mean the B-cycle stations where people can rent those out?
Yes.
Well, so I know our B-Cycle, Bike Houston is, or not Bike Houston, sorry. Yeah, B-Cycle is a close partner of ours. I don't think they're on the meeting this evening, but happy to check with them to see if this is in their near-term planning. You think that one of those would do well at this park?
Reason being, when the solar farm is active, if it would be possible to connect this park to have a bike trail that goes around the solar farm and back to this park, and you utilize those bikes to ride that trail, I think that would be awesome for Sunnyside.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate your input and giving us an additional idea. I'll definitely reach out to our friends at B-Cycle and let them know your input, Ephraim.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Nice to see. We'll quote unquote see you again. Hear from you. Anyone else?
Also, Lisa, he did talk about the basketball court.
Yes, that was a potential, going back to park improvement ideas. Yes, basketball court upgrades was an idea.
Yeah. Some of the kids I spoke with say if they could get it, it's like a half court now, but I think they like wanted a full court or something. They wanted like benches around the court so they could sit down, mix up, when they playing games. And they did want a water fountain close around the basketball court.
Okay, and that's pretty much in the realm of my thinking. I believe in the same thing is necessary there. I have seen that style of basketball court in a number of parks around the city, and it is my goal to change them all eventually.
Oh, okay.
It don't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense to me. And I like having an end-to-end type situation because then you can really play, the game properly.
Right.
Not throwing balls at each other because that's what's happening when you miss the
Let's hit them with a
basket, it goes
ball
into
instead
the
of
other
gunning
court,
it.
right?
Right.
That don't work right.
Does anyone feel more strongly about one of these improvements being, and being major one than the others? If anyone was to categorize these, the trail, the playground, basketball, exercise equipment, or parking, does anyone feel strongly that one of these should take precedent?
One of these, not all.
Just throwing out food for thought, continuing the conversation. Not if you don't feel comfortable choosing, you don't have to.
Can I say this about the trail replacement? We have always felt that if we can get rid of asphalt where we can, and put down concrete walking trails that last much longer, they're beautiful, they don't get broken up. And you know how asphalt acts, it doesn't stay that long, and you got to come in, and when you fix it, you basically put another 1.5-inch layer all over the top, and then it's 1.5 inches taller, right? And I like something that stays low and looks good, and the water can travel over it, doesn't trap water. Those are the kinds of things that help our parks act right, if that makes sense.
You don't have to worry about falling either. That's a good
point.
So I also, at this time, I want to bring up the survey again. So my colleague Kelly is going to put a link to the survey in the chat. I know we just threw out like a couple questions this evening just to kind of get the conversation going. But we do have a few more questions we want people to answer. There she is on cue. Thank you, Kelly. So the link is there in the chat. It's a Survey Monkey link. It should take you less than 3 minutes to fill out. So if you want to click that now and do it, or you want to copy and paste and save that link, that would be great. But we are looking for responses from the Sunnyside Complete Community on input to this park. We also know that some of y'all maybe want to think about it and not give us answers this evening because this is the first time you may be hearing about it. We respect that, and we want to give you time to think about it and get back to us. So that survey is your way to do that. So please either click the link now, copy and paste it, and save it so that you can participate. And as I mentioned, Lindsay will also be sharing it on our behalf. Lindsay, I don't know if you do a follow-up email or anything, but we would appreciate it.
Email on follow-up, and I will also place this link on our Let's Talk Houston landing page for anyone who wants to take the survey after.
Yeah, great. There's a specific page for Sunnyside, so you can be put on there?
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, great. Thank you. Yeah, we're at 7:43. We're doing good. We'll probably get away, letting everyone have a little bit of time of their evening back. Before I close up the input section, anything else on your mind about E.P Hill Park?
Oh yeah, a dog park.
You think a dog park? You're saying you would like to see an area for dogs at this particular park? So
yeah, a lot of people walk their dogs and everything. They need to have their own, and they have them drinking out the water fountain.
Okay, so
I hate to see, but yeah, if they get a little dog to the side.
Ma'am, when we replace those water fountains, we're going to be replacing them with either 3 or 4 function fountains. We actually build those in a house. And yeah, we save about $6,000 every time we build one, believe it or not. When you buy them from the companies, they want an arm and a leg. And
Right.
our plumbers learn how to build them themselves. And I'm really proud of that fact. And they make them now where they make a dog bowl down low that has his own bowl. You can fill it with a button. And then you've got a drink. You've got one that's the elevation for an able-bodied person. Then you got one at an elevation for somebody who has disabilities. And then you also have a bottle filler on it now. So that's what we'll be putting in the park when we replace that. So you'll get all the best of all worlds. How's that sound?
That sounds wonderful.
Good deal.
I'm looking out for the furry friends too.
We all use it. Four legs too. None. We all use parks. So thank you for the comment, Deborah.
Thank you.
Okay. And then going once, going twice. Done. All right. So thank you so much for the great input and feedback on these park improvement ideas. We appreciate it. And Lindsay, you'll be placing a, do y'all post this recording on your Sunnyside webpage, Complete Community webpage as well, so that people can review it?
Yes, I will have this. We'll post the meeting on our Let's Talk Houston landing page. For any information, you should be able to visit Let's Talk Houston. And my email and phone number is on the screen as well. Any presentation, Lisa, if you guys can send the presentation over, I could also email that out if that's okay.
Yeah, sure. I definitely will. I'll send a PDF of that so that you can have that in case people want to print it out. I did have one additional slide here, which are next steps, and then we can close it out. So as Mike mentioned, the Parks Department safety improvements will continue at these parks. So that's really exciting that you'll continue to see that great work. And Complete Communities, we will continue to work with Complete Communities to coordinate with y'all for continued engagement and stewardship. As Deborah mentioned, and others, and Amber with Chevron, this is over a span of years. This is not something where we do the project and we say goodbye. We do create a long-term relationship with the communities that use this park. So we look forward to actually seeing y'all in person in the future. And so what we're going to do is we're going to distill what we heard tonight, which is great. I think we heard alignment with the proposed ideas, which is fantastic. But we'll still go over the notes. We heard some new things, so we'll go over that. We will consider that, and then we'll get back with Lindsay and Complete Communities on kind of, the short list there are more finalized ideas, more moving towards, proposed improvements. And at a future Complete Communities meeting, that would be the avenue through which you hear from us again about this, or from Lindsay with a report. So, I might be popping on, but we'll work through Lindsay and Complete Communities. I think this is a good avenue and a route to go. And then we'll, release information as it comes along about the project, about the projects that are selected and the time frame. And then, as we mentioned, future volunteer events. Chevron's looking forward to working with members of the community at the park. And so it's a whole kind of rollout over a series of years. It's not going to be done next month. So this is just the beginning. So we appreciate your input early on. We definitely wanted to get to y'all early on in the process before moving forward. And so we'll continue to keep y'all in the loop and work closely with Complete Communities. So this is my honest, this is my last slide. I said the one before that was that, but this is my last slide, just thanking everyone for being here this evening. If you have any questions for Houston Parks Board, for me, Lisa, anything I can help facilitate, maybe you have questions about other parks, or Houston Parks Board, info@houstonparksboard.org is our email address right there. And then Houston5050parkpartners.com is the website for this overall initiative. So I appreciate everyone taking time to be here with us this evening. That is the formal end of my presentation.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. And thanks to everybody for your participation.
Thank you, Council Member.
Thank you. Thank you for joining us as well, council member. And thank you to all of our fantastic residents who joined us. The chat should have a link for a sign-in sheet in there. We'll make sure we drop it one more time so it gets to be in your view. I'll email out any presentations that were associated with tonight so you all can see those, and the recording will be on Let's Talk Houston as well. So if you would like to sign in, please use the link to sign in to let us know you were here. And the survey link will go out, so please respond and encourage your neighbors to respond, and your church members and your civic clubs. Feel free to distribute that link to anyone that you think needs to give input for the area.
Yeah, and Gareth, I see Gareth Morgans is on with at-large council member David Robinson's office. So thank you, Gareth, for being with here on behalf of the council member. We know he's a lover of parks as well, so we appreciate you being here. Gareth put in the comment section that the at-large members are also happy to share and repost on social. So thank you, Gareth, for mentioning that. We will definitely be in touch with the at-larges. So thank you. Sorry, Lindsay, I just wanted to.
Oh no, that's fine.
Oh, and Hannah's here.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you for joining us, y'all.
Hey, my pleasure.
Wonderful. So any information that you need or don't receive via email from me, please feel free to reach out. My email again is lindsay.williams@houstontexts.gov. We'll pull it up so you can also have my phone number in case you need that. There is, the newsletter should be coming out soon. There will be information on any upcoming events. As Jeremy Peaches mentioned earlier, there's an initiative called Black Farmers Box that's happening, or you can go and volunteer your time at the Multi-Service Center and learn how to garden on Thursdays. We need you to fill out this survey for the parks. We're going to also have some meetings coming up so we can decide what grants we're going to apply for, because we are going to take full advantage of these grant applications from LEASH, and we're going to work together as a team. There'll be the smaller working group meetings. We'll split up and kind of discuss. I would love for us to send as many as we can get done. I'm just being honest. I think it would be a great opportunity for us as a community to push forward as many things as we can. So January is gonna be a good working month for us to try and tackle these things. So if there's no more questions or comments or announcements or any upcoming programs that anybody wants to talk about, we have 8 minutes, so I'm gonna leave the floor open because it's your meeting. So I'll leave the floor open if anybody has anything else they would like to say or comment on at this time. Okay. Well, my gift to you in 2021 is these last 8 minutes.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you all. Have a wonderful evening. And I look forward to seeing you all at our future meetings.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much, Lindsay. Bye.
Good job, Lindsay. That was a really good meeting.
Yes, great job.
Yes. Thank y'all for y'all's help on the back end.
Great job.
Excellent meeting all around. Good job, everyone.
Thank you.
Hi, Ms. Walker. How are you?
I'm fine. Who is that?
This is Lynn Henson, Hamilton Henson.
Oh, hey. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, too.
I'm still hanging in there, girl.
Good.
Yes.
Thank you for all your comments on the park.
Oh, no problem, girl. That's something I've been working on for a minute. trying to get done. So I am so glad that have me down there at the park more than what I'm normally do. All right, y'all have a good one.
All right.
All right, bye.
Bye-bye.
Okay, everyone, I'm gonna end it. Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good job, Lindsay. Talk to everybody tomorrow.
Bye.
Bye-bye.